Shaitanir Rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And today we're talking about women in the corporate sector. And our next guest today is, how do I describe her? I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And Tweet was giving her the justice she deserves. She's a chartered accountant at a globally recognized company. She's based in Johannesburg. She's also the brand ambassador of Buzz Babes of South Africa. She's a fierce supporter of women. She has 17 years of JSC listed experience in audit, in risk and consulting. She's a women rights activist advocating for equal and fair respect for women through the power they hold. She is Govini Mudli, and welcome to Phenomenal Woman. How are you doing today, Buzz Babe?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Aisha. I really appreciate it. I've been waiting all week actually to talk to you.
It's an absolute pleasure, and I know your career demands a lot of your time. And please, I have to thank you so much for honoring my invitation that I had to steal you away from your very, very busy, hectic schedule. But may God bless you and accept from you, because I know you have lots of positivity and motivation for our listeners. So, Kavini, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, please share with us, why did you decide to pursue a career in the corporate sector?
Hmm. Ever since I was a young child, I had a lot of role models around me that had qualified as chartered accountants. And having watched their journey and having watched the kind of channels that opened up for them being CAs, it really inspired me to want to follow the same path. I think CAs are, we're credible, we're champions for change, we're always looking for ways to do things in a smarter and a different way. And that's really how my CA journey started. Completed my articles at Deloitte, went on to do 4 years of management consulting, and currently I'm the head of risk and audit at a large JSE listed company here in Sandton, and that's really been my corporate career across 17 years.
Is amazing. I must tell you, I want to share something with you and our listeners. So, my two older brothers are both qualified chartered accountants. The one is late. May Allah bless him with Jannatul Firdaus. And I used to always think of CAs as these boring, boring people sitting with calculators and their glasses on their noses or these grey suits, until both my brothers got into that field. And then I realized, no, CAs are very, very dynamic, and they are amazing, and they're analytical, and they think out of the box. And then to top it off, they've been surrounded by chartered accountants. Lo and behold, my husband is also a
Oh
chartered
wow,
accountant.
oh
When
wow.
I think of accounting and I think of the woman in that field,
Mm.
all I can say is wow, because I know CASA, meaning to qualify as a chartered accountant in South Africa, is not that easy. But the thing is, the credibility that it holds internationally, everybody knows CASA is a force to be reckoned with. So, firstly, wow, 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 and may you guys to continue success, because I know that board exam is really
Yes,
not a piece of cake.
it is a
So that is
beast.
amazing. I have to ask you this, Kavini. Who were the women who inspired you as you were growing up?
Hmm. I had some great role models in my neighborhood because I grew up in a little town called Shellcrest. So it was often the individuals that were a few years older than me, and we would all walk to school together. There's a whole list of them. And then, of course, my mum has also inspired me. She being a powerful woman who was able to hold her own, who was able to speak her voice. And I think, also having a dad that was very transformative, that didn't expect me to comply with, I want to say, the usual constructs of society, was also very helpful because my dad raised me as a strong, powerful, independent woman. And I think that is where, my confidence has come from. That is where my activism for women empowerment has come from, in the way that I was raised in my earlier years.
Yes, yes. So I must ask you, Kavini, there are a lot of young ladies listening in today that some of them could be in matric, some of them are in grade 11, some of them maybe studying first year university and they're realizing, I'm not really happy with the choice I've made, or I'm still juggling to see if I'm choosing the right career path, and they may be considering going into the corporate field.
Right.
What would be your advice? If there could be somebody listening right now that is in a particular career field and they're like, I think corporate is more suited to me. So, what would be your advice to our listeners who are considering this career change in the corporate field?
I think there are different types of corporate out there, some really good and some not so good. So I think what's very important is to make sure that you understand your own value system and make sure that when you're getting into corporate that in the interview stage you are starting to ask questions about um, your growth, the support that is being offered. I think those are really, really important things in an interview stage. The company's values, the kind of integrity that they uphold. Because remember, if your values don't align with the company, that's where a lot of the challenges start to arise. So, make sure that you know yourself well enough, make sure that you know what you stand for. And ask those questions up front when you are being interviewed by a particular company. And I think that if you ask the right questions, you'll have a better sense at the end of that as to whether this particular corporate is the right environment for you to spend your time in.
Absolutely. The other thing I have to ask, which is very, very important, is when we think of motivating women
Yeah.
on the importance of supporting other women, what would you say? Because men often, I mean, like, you are blessed in the way you described your father's role in your life. He wanted you to succeed. He embraced that. He wanted you to be financially independent. I'm blessed that my late father was the same.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're grateful for the men in our lives that do that. But when it comes to the woman in our lives, I mean, for me, obviously, I would think my mother, she still is,
Yes.
very, very much in the forefront of being my fierce supporter. And then God blesses you with certain friends. They just
Yeah.
push you because they believe in you. Why is woman supporting woman so important, especially more now than it ever was before?
I think there's always been this narrative that's been created in society. I'm not really sure where it stemmed from, but we've been so almost conditioned to believe that there can only be one woman that can succeed. There can only be one woman at the top. And I want to come out and just say that that is not true because on my journey of becoming a CA, I was supported by so many incredible CAs, so many industry leaders, um, people who mentored me, people who life coached me for free during my times of need. And I think it's just so important to pay it forward as a woman. If you've got a skill, reach out and help someone else that may be struggling. I think it's just so important for us to break this, narrative that's being created that we hate each other and we're here to be pitted against each other. I think it is so important for us that as we rise, we turn around, we stick out our hand, and we help another young woman to sort of, charter the waters that they need to now maneuver.
I love that. I just love how you say that because it is so beautiful. And aside from you saying it, I know you are somebody who walks your talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's without doubt. And hence, we resonate with each other because
Yeah.
that's what you do. It's not just women talking about woman empowerment in the sense that I support your cause, I'm there for you. You are literally, you being your word and you are supporting other women. And when you think of women supporting women as well, it's being there, being, the emotional crutch that a woman may need,
Yes.
telling a woman, listen, let us get through this together, and not talking down about that woman to other people. Because that whole gossip girl, mean girl thing is something that, is so high school. So I
Mm-hmm.
want your thoughts on that very quickly before I go to the next question.
I think it's just so important for us to lend a helping hand, and it doesn't have to be on a huge scale. You can do this in your work environment, you can do this with your neighbor, you can support women in a shelter. I think we always think that we need to do something so huge and monumental. But if you think about it, if every woman decides that they want to help one other person, they want to pay it forward in some way, and it also doesn't have to always be monetary in value. It could be a skill that you share. It could be you help someone to ace an interview, you help someone to update their CV. So, before you look at the really huge things, I think it's important to just look around your own life and decide what is it that I can do with the skills that I currently have to empower another woman that is within my space and within my community.
Yes, yes. And if you think of another way of woman supporting woman, like you say, it's the small things that matter. It's the small things that occupy the largest places in your heart. Like Kovini, paying a woman a genuine compliment. Saying
Yes,
to another woman,
yes.
listen, send me your advert or whatever it is you're advertising, whether it's a small business, whether it's something corporate, whatever, and I will also share it with my network. Maybe buying her products if she's selling something. That is woman supporting woman. It's not competition. She's not your competition. She's just proof of how it can be done and use it to motivate you. So that will be something that I would think of as well as woman supporting woman. I want to ask you, how do you balance all of this? Your corporate career, your loving giving nature, which I know
Mm,
you have, I know you personally, and you just being you. How do you balance all of this? I mean, there's all these big roles. How do you multitask and you do this so elegantly and so eloquently? You make it look so easy.
I think for me, I recognized quite early in my career that I am a multifaceted woman. And my title and my status at work are part of who I am, but it is by no means my entire life. And I think that's a very great lesson for people to learn is that beyond your qualification and your day job, that there is a human soul within you. There is a passion and there is, a way that you can impact the world in a bigger way. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of giving all of their time, all of their energy to the work that they do. And if you're doing that, no disrespect to you at all. But I think it's important to also have some kind of balance outside of what it is you do for your day job. I think it's important to, spend time in nature, spend time with friends, do other things, because I've always been a firm advocate that we are not our jobs, just to say it out plainly. We are so much more. There is, skills, unique skills, purpose within us that needs to be leveraged in this lifetime. And I think you really start to live a content life when you start to explore what are the things that I love doing and try and incorporate it into your day. And that's exactly what I do every single day. I have a priority list, and that priority list may shift depending on what is really, really important for that day. And I guess that's how I make it look so easy. And I think the other thing is just I am so authentic. I share my good, bad, and my ugly. So it isn't really a job for me, It isn't something that I'm putting on or performance. It is me being my authentic self and finding all the things that bring me joy, and leveraging that for the betterment of society.
That is so well said, and I must say to you, my beloved listeners, this amazing woman is not just speaking, she walks her talk. May you be blessed with continued success, Kovini. May
Thank you.
all your beneficial prayers be accepted and you just continue doing you. And I know for a fact that you are a fierce supporter of other women. And when we say fierce supporter of other women, Kavini Mudli is a genuine well wisher of others. And may you be blessed with all the love and kindness and success that you give to others and you empower others to do. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us on Phenomenal Woman. And you continue shining. You're very special. You are indeed a phenomenal woman. Thank you so much, my angel.
Thank you so much for this interview. I really loved it, and I hope that your audience has a great day, and I hope that they took value from what it is I said.
Most definitely. God bless you,
God
Kavini.
bless
Thank
you.
you so much. Stay phenomenal, and we will have you back on the areas of Radio Alansar on the show very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Cheers.
much.
Bye bye.